go live. Post show. It says it's live now. Oh, hey, we're live. I don't know if they can actually hear us or not. I don't know. Hi, everybody. Try to see if I can open up the.
Without.
No, not looking, not looking. I can do this. I can do this without looking. I can do it. I'm ready whenever you are.
All right, and we're ready. How are you doing, guys?
Yeah, guys, all of you that are not actually watching.
All right.
Oh, no, somebody's watching. Oh, somebody's watching. Hi,
right.
everybody. Hi.
So we are live on Down in the Valley's YouTube. We are live on Periscope for the Houston Soccer Power Hours account, and we're live on my personal Facebook, just for gigs and shiggles. But
Gigs and shiggles. Okay.
yes.
So if you're watching, this isn't. Oh wow, we just lost all of our viewers. That was incredible. That didn't take long.
That is it.
If you're watching, it's because you love us and we appreciate you. But we wanted to open up the opportunity. We had started to do this with the Peel way back when, and we wanted to open it up to you guys as well. Since we're going with the more radio show style, we're here to talk to you guys. We want to talk to you guys. So if you're in the chat and you want to say hi, say hi. We're here for 15 more minutes. And then I'm cutting it because if nobody's going to show up, I'm not going to sit here and do this every week. So you better show up, damn it. This is the uncensored, unfiltered Houston Soccer Power Hour late show.
Yep.
So, today we were talking about just so much crap, man. I mean, supporters group, we talked about Fernando Torres, we talked about the Dash, talked about Dynamo, talked about Kyoto, talked about Memo, talked about other stuff. So much. And that was a very long but very short 2 hours. Like, it was a lot of talking.
Well, it doesn't help that we were having technical difficulties in the beginning, but
pretty much throughout the entire show.
Yeah.
But
But one of the things that we didn't talk about on the actual show in regards to Fuenmayor, and we were talking about how we were surprised for the most part that Fuenmayor actually played well. He was up to the task of marking, of all people, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And he mentioned in his interview that, he knew that it was a player that, man, like back in Venezuela, he'd be playing in FIFA, he'd be playing with Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and then now seeing him on the same field as he is playing, it was an awesome experience for him, but he also remembered that he's got a job to do, and he was not going to let that distract him from what he needed to do out there on the pitch, and it showed.
Yeah, you're definitely not wrong. It did show, and yeah, I don't know. All right, so there's a couple people watching. So if you're watching, shoot us some questions. We want to talk. We don't want to just sit here and talk to ourselves. We kind of are, but we want to know what your thoughts are. We want to know, what you guys thought of the show. We want to know what you guys want us to talk about next week. We want to know what you guys want us to talk about right now. Chat is open. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. You can also use the Discord chat too, because most of you probably come from the Discord chat.
I already posted it. And also, guys, if you're watching from the Houston Soccer Power Hour Periscope, be sure to also leave your comments there. I'll be watching on there for any of y'all's comments. If you guys have any questions that you want us to answer, or any comments that you might have opinions on the LA Galaxy versus Houston Dynamo, or whatever soccer related point or theme topic you want to talk about, you guys are more than welcome to use this extra space on our social media in order to do so. So
absolutely, 100%. Hey, what's up, Jacob? So we've got both halves of the Down in the Valley show on right now, because you're on and now Jacob's on. Yes. So what's up, Jacob? How's it going, buddy? I'm really excited that you guys are doing a pre and post match, by the way, Saturday. That's freaking cool for RGV and cool for you guys. So Jacob, what if there's one thing that you wanted to tell people, Dynamo fans, about this Saturday, what would you want to tell them? Say it in chat. We're watching. Well, it's going to be delayed because he's got to watch it. You know,
yeah,
he's got to watch it and hear it and then respond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
While we're waiting for him, though,
please do not spoil the Rockets game.
Oh, if you spoil the Rockets game, your ass is getting kicked, and that's not a joke either. Like, ask him. I am serious tonight.
The ban hammer will drop.
This is not happening tonight.
No, he's taking it very seriously. He has not looked at his phone for the most part.
Just so everybody can see, I'm literally on the McDonald's app because I'm ordering food so that I can sit down on the couch after we finish this show. I'm going to go pick up food from McDonald's. I'm going to go eat food and watch the Rockets game, which I have recorded. I took it that seriously tonight that I did not check for updates on my phone. So I'm on the McDonald's app. I'm not watching. I'm not looking at score or anything like that. I haven't looked at the score. With that said, though, there was something that was interesting to me, though, in talking about the SG about the supporters group, and it's something that I don't really know how to address at this point, and I'm still trying to figure it out. And I guess you can't actually see my phone screen. Didn't really pick up all that well. Well, of course I'm on lo-fi on mine, but the front office and kind of the way that they address the supporters groups. We mentioned it, or it was mentioned in the Discord chat about how how the supporters groups are kind of treated by the front office as kind of whatever at this point, because they're more focused on the family environment. And I think that's true, but I think there's something to keep in mind too, is that from the front office standpoint, the supporters groups aren't bringing in a lot of money. They're really not. They don't drink and use a lot of concessions in the stadium.
No,
they don't.
You have very few. You have very little time to do it.
They're paying the cheapest tickets in the stadium. I mean, yes, they come to every match, and that's awesome. It helps create that environment and that atmosphere. But from a front office standpoint, they're not the breadwinners. They're not the bread and butter. Now, that's not to say they can't be, but it requires a change in mentality, and I just don't think we're going to see that under Canetti, and I hate it. So Jacob says he is excited for Saturday. He's ready for Saturday. I think you echo those same sentiments. I hope you guys are bringing back a W for sure. Well, not bringing back, but getting a W while you're there. Mm-hmm. You can bring back a W, that's for sure. So okay, let's close this out. We got just a couple minutes left anyway, so let's close this out. You get one topic, any topic. You talk about anything soccer, and it better not be League MX.
No, I do want to talk about we keep on going back to it, but how soon will we see some sort of salary not parity, but close salaries between women's and men's? How close do you think, like, for example,
that's a loaded question. Oh, man. Okay, so how soon? 15 years? And that's not a joke. And that's it's there's two sides of this coin. Number one, you do have the women deserve to be paid more money. I completely 100% agree with that. Yes. I will champion that cause to no end. Two, do they actually deserve to be paid the same as the men? I think there's some discrepancy in the parity there, because you have to remember the men are making more money. They are bringing in more money.
Yes.
Because in general, the men's sport does that. However, there is an opportunity for the women to bring in that same thing. If salaries are going to increase, we need to see more stadiums full. And we can't we can't say that it's just because the big name players aren't there. We have the biggest name players in the world playing in the league, with the exception of a very select few. So I looked at the Royals, Utah Royals. I watched one of their highlights, and I noticed that their stadium looked really empty. This a couple of weeks after their stadium date, after their inaugural home match, where they sold out the stadium. Mm-hmm. And it's a stark contrast to me, and it reminds me of the Dash. First match, tons of people showed up. After that, just dwindled and dwindled and dwindled. Same thing we're seeing with Orlando Pride. Initially, huge turnouts. Dwindles and dwindles and dwindles. So it begs the question, when you ask for salary parity, it's just as much about salary parity as it is what just happened. We just went offline.
We're still live on Periscope.
Okay, cool. But it begs the question, and it's important to remember this, that salary parity is one thing, but salary parity also requires revenue parity. And revenue parity, that's going to be the 15-year mark, and it's going to take that long. Because now, if we're talking about proportionally speaking, where the parity is based on, if we're talking a percentage of how much the league is making, that's how the parity is, then we're talking less than 5 years. Mm-hmm. I got a notification that we're live, by the way.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool.
So the reason I brought it up, and we talked about it before off the air a couple of days ago, was I got into an argument with a Mexican female sports reporter, and it got heated on her end, where I mentioned the same thing you just told me. That's what I said. Because, I do champion the fact that these ladies, especially the Mexican League, they need to be paid a hell of a whole lot more than they currently are. Mm-hmm. If you think the salaries here in the United States for the women are bad, it's much worse over there. A bunch of these young girls have to take public transportation from like 2 towns over to go and practice, and they get paid very little. I understand that. I'm all for them getting paid more. Now, there are some people that are championing that cause, but they wanted to right away be paid the salary levels of Guignacs, of Funes Moris, of Nahuel Guzman, of Oribe Peralta. That is not possible right now. No. And I mentioned it to her. I got called, an enemy of the cause. The worst part is she's supposed to be Marion Reimers, and I'm calling her out, of Fox Deportes. Mm-hmm. So if you listen to me, I'm showing my face, okay? So what I want to say is the worst. I think that kind of was a letdown for me was the fact that she's supposed to be a journalist. She's supposed to be more open to debate, bringing up facts. And yet she's one of the ones where if you don't think like her, she'll automatically shut you down. And I gave a good points. I gave the NWSL as an example. The only thing she saw was that I thought that I said that when I mentioned Guignac, she's like, nobody talked about Guignac. Sit down. Ooh. Yeah. So I was like, forget it.
Yeah, and the thing is if you want to grow your league, you have to be willing to understand that you can't do it by being an elitist. Just because you're supporting a league that's growing, or not growing, but in its early phases, that doesn't mean that you have the right to go and be a jerk to people. If you want your league to grow, you have to be reasonable. You have to be nice. And so, it's interesting to me to see that, because that hurts the growth of the league when you have those people with that, with that mentality that, oh, we're better than, if you don't talk about what we want to talk about, we're better than you. And that's just, that's just upsetting. It hinders the growth of the game. All right. Well, we've reached the end of this post show. We thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back again next week. Same time, same channel, same place.
Hopefully with more streamlined process.
For the pregame show, yeah. We'll start again for the pregame show next week at 6:45 Central. So tune in on Tuesday, 6:45 Central.